Good Thursday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. I have a serious question for you guys today. Do you think, or do you believe that celebrity cruise lines, well, they cheat solo cruisers? Are they price gouging solo cruisers? Has celebrity cruise lines become the least friendly cruise line out there towards solo cruisers? Well, I never thought of it before. Never really gave it a whole lot of thought. Now, we all know a lot of the cruise lines out there, they charge the single supplement. Even if you travel solo, only one person in a cabin, you're going to pay double occupancy rates. So you're still going to pay like there's two people in the room, even if it's just you. Now, some cruise lines, of course, have solo cabins for solo travelers, and usually those are less. But we're just talking about one person staying in a double occupancy cabin. You're going to pay double occupancy rates. Cruisers don't like it, but unfortunately that's just the way it is right now. Good or bad, agree or disagree, that's normal for cruise lines to do. Now, the reason I asked this question is I was going through the cruise news and I came across a story that asked that specific question. It says, has celebrity cruise lines become the least solo friendly cruise line out there? So naturally, I'm going to click on it. I'm curious. And according to the article, they did some checking, they did some research, they did some comparing, and they found out that not only was celebrity cruise lines charging double occupancy, they were charging solo cruisers more than double occupancy. So if you had two people in a cabin, it was this price. If solo cruisers were in the cabin, it was more than that price. So one person in a cabin was costing more than two. To me, that kind of sounds like celebrities doing a little bit of price gouging there. Also, according to the article, what they found is that a solo traveler would pay $300 to $800 more than two people staying in the same cabin. Which, brings up the question, well, why is one person gonna pay more than two people? Now, the article goes on to say that they had a source within celebrity sales that said the reason for this price discrepancy, well, is because if there's only one person in a cabin, they're losing onboard revenue, the revenue that would be generated by a second person in the cabin. Because they're not going to go to the casino, they're not going to go to the stores, they're not going to purchase additional things on the cruise ship, and the ship's going to lose money by doing that, so they have to make up the money somehow. And the way they have decided to do that is by charging solo cruisers more. Now, for me, I didn't want to take this article just at their word. I thought, can it really be that much? Can the discrepancy really be that large? $300 to $800, that's quite a bit of money extra for one person to have to pay. So I decided I'm going to do some bookings. I'm going to do them side by side, and I'm going to see, is there really a price difference for two people in a cabin versus one person in a cabin? Now, I went over to Celebrity's website, directly to the source, didn't go through any third-party vendor or anything like that, went directly to celebrity.com. I selected a 7-night Alaska sailing, May 23rd of 2025, departing from Seattle, Washington on the Celebrity Edge. For the first booking, I went through and selected two people in the room. I selected an infinite veranda balcony, and I did not include any add-ons, so no cruise insurance, no prepaid gratuities, none of that kind of stuff, just your base cruise fare just to get to the end screen to see what the price would be. And I'm going to throw up the first slide for you here. All right, so this is the Edge Stateroom with infinite veranda, room number 8164. You can see it does show that there are two guests on there. The first guest comes out to $3,118. The second guest is $779. The room total is $3,897. Port fees and taxes is $649.02 for a trip total of $4,546.02. I want to make sure that these comparisons are exact. So I went back and I rebooked this exact same cabin, exact same cruise, exact same cabin, exact same everything, except for instead of two guests in the room, now there is only one. So I took it down to a solo cruiser, rebooked it, got to the same screen, and I'm going to show you this slide because I'm going to be honest with you. $300 to $800? Not even close. So again, we have the Edge stateroom with infinite veranda, room 8164, so same exact room. One guest. The one guest total is $5,668 for the room total. Port fees and taxes, $324.51, bringing the trip total to $5,992.51. So yeah, that's more than $300 to $800 if you were traveling solo on this particular cruise. As a matter of fact, the difference is $1,446.49. That is how much more a person traveling alone would have to pay to go on this cruise as a solo cruiser. So to answer the question, is Celebrity charging more for solo cruisers beyond double occupancy? Well, at least on this cruise, the answer is yes, they are, by almost $1,500. Now, just to be fully fair and fully transparent as to how this affects solo cruisers, so the Celebrity Edge does have solo cabins. So I went through and did a booking on a solo cabin just to see how the price compared that way. So we have a Celedge single stateroom with the infinite veranda. So I still kept it with an infinite veranda. Now this is going to be room number 6141 because it's a solo cabin. The guest total was $3,122 for a room total of $3,122, $324.51 in port fees and taxes, for a trip total of $3,446.51. So for the solo cabin, that's $1,099.51 less than a double occupancy cabin, but for a much smaller room. So that's a solo cabin versus a regular veranda or balcony cabin. So there is a less expensive option, but I'm still kind of focused on this balcony cabin. So if you have double occupancy, 2 people in the room, it costs this price. But if you have only one person in the exact same room, it is almost $1,500 more. And apparently this is because, well, you know, that second person, they're missing. They're not going to buy things in the shops. They're not going to go to the casinos. We're losing money by having this person just stay in a room by themselves. We can't have that. We can't be missing that money. The only way to get that money is to take it out of the solo cruiser's pocket and make them pay more money. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but we've seen prices go up on everything. Prices up, services down. Then you read an article about, hey, if you go solo on this particular cruise line, it's going to cost you a little bit more money, you know, $300 to $800. Well, the only cruise I only compared this one. The very first one I looked at had a $1,500 price difference. I'm telling you, don't believe me? You're not sure? Go over to Celebrity and do the exact same thing because those slides are directly from Celebrity Cruise Lines. And like I said, this particular one was an Alaska cruise on the Celebrity Edge from Seattle, Washington on May 23rd of 2025. So I encourage everybody, especially if you are a solo cruiser, to go over to Celebrity Cruise Lines and take a look at any cruise you're interested in and see, is there really that big of a price difference across the board? Does this mean that Celebrity is now truly and honestly the least friendly cruise line out there towards solo cruisers? Are these cruise lines that are reporting record profits, billions of dollars in profits, so hard up for every little penny that this is how they would treat solo cruisers? Currently, they're estimating 18% of travelers are solo cruisers. Solo cruising is becoming more popular, and that 18% is expected to go up over the next couple of years, and this is what the cruise lines think about that, or specifically what Celebrity thinks about that. Norwegian has already come out and said, hey, we're adding more solo cabins, more opportunities for solo cruisers. I think they see the writing on the wall. But Celebrity, well, they're not going that route. They've done a 180, and they're heading the other direction, the direction where they stick your hand in your back pocket, take more money out if you don't happen to be cruising with somebody else with you. But you guys let me know what you think. Is this a good practice by celebrity? Is this even a, I guess, moral and ethically correct practice by a cruise line? Or, hey, it's just business as usual for big business, big cruise line. You guys let me know what you think. I'm curious. I think it's kind of BS that they would do this. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong and you guys will see it different. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Celebrity's Cruise Line and the price difference for solo cruises versus double occupancy. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.